What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and as the summer rolls on, we grow ever closer to the 2018 Summer Games event. Or do we? While I think it's inevitable that we'll be getting a late summer Overwatch event once again, it's possible that this year it'll be something more or less brand new. So I'll be talking about this possibility in this video, along with what day we can expect the summer event to start. So let's jump right on in. First up, let's quickly discuss the start date. Considering when the event started in 2016 and 2017, it was on August 2nd and August 8th, respectively. Thus, given that under normal circumstances, Overwatch events tend to start on a Tuesday, it seems possible that, in 2018, it could be starting on either July 31st or August 7th. However, I personally think it'll be August 7th. Summer Games has historically been the August content release for Overwatch, so having it start in August seems more likely. But even more so is that it starting on the 7th will space it out better after the release of Wrecking Ball onto live servers. From a business standpoint, it's a good idea to separate major content releases, so doing this will allot more time for people to enjoy Hammond before the event rolls around and players get hyped once again. Now that I've touched on its start date, what about the possibility of the Summer Games being rebranded or reworked into something different? Why is this even an idea worth mentioning in the first place? Well, for those of us who have been playing Overwatch since its launch, this year will be the third time we get the Summer Games event. Sure, each time it has introduced brand new skins and other content, but overall it's been basically the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Blizzard previously stated that for their second year of Overwatch, their main goal was to experiment with refining the events which had been introduced during the game's first year. This not only allowed them to improve what was already good in year one, but also devote more development time to certain things. For example, during year one, we got several epic skins during most events because the dev team was busy building the events from the ground up. But come year 2, most of the groundwork was already done, so they could designate more time to designing almost exclusively legendary skins. However, even if we're continuing to get dope new legendary skins every time an event comes around, simply getting a rehash of something we've seen before can get pretty old pretty quickly, and many of us older players are already starting to get event fatigue after only 2 years of the same events. Therefore, in an effort to spice things up and keep the player base excited, Blizzard may end up giving us something brand new, just like back in year 1. Some people have speculated that since every past event item became available again during the 2018 anniversary event, that could mean that Blizzard is planning to retire all that content now that we're in year 3. Consider anniversary as having been a sort of last chance to get anything from the first 2 years before starting fresh again. However, I strongly doubt that this is the case. It's only year 3. Maybe around year 5, I could see Overwatch reaching a point where each event has so much limited time content that it'll prove troublesome to have it all crammed into the event's one loot box, thus giving Blizzard just cause to retire certain older items. But there's one big reason why I find even this to be rather unlikely, and also serves as a good reason for Blizzard to continue recycling events overall, which is Overwatch newcomers. Why scrap old content which could catch the eye of new players who are ready and willing to spend money on loot boxes? Regardless of whether Blizzard decides to go with some kind of radical event rework or just keeps calling it Summer Games, I'm confident that old event skins will continue to return every year for at least a good while yet. So let me just say that nobody needs to get worried about that. However, considering again the veteran players who have been around since the beginning and already have the old skins, where's the new excitement for them? I think in year 3, we're going to start seeing changes to the existing events that are more than just the content additions we got in year 2, but less than total event reworks. And we may even have a bit of leaked evidence to support this. As many of you likely remember from a couple weeks ago, a potentially leaked Sombra skin was discovered on the PTR. When equipping her default skin and golden gun, going invisible would show this skin instead of her normal default weapon. Now, I talked more about it in a previous video of mine, which you can find a link to in the card on screen, but many people noted that this this weapon skin seemingly resembles the nationality-specific epic skins that some heroes got during the first Summer Games back in 2016. If this is indeed what we're looking at, then it seems to indicate that Blizzard could be adding more national epic skins again this year, one of which is for Sombra. But furthermore, if Blizzard is introducing more new epic skins for an event, could it possibly be because they are instead investing a lot of development time in other areas of the event, just like they did throughout year 1? Could this possibly mean that something big and new is coming for Summer Games 2018? Admittedly, it's a bit of a stretch, and could just as easily be a creative choice on Blizzard's part that's completely unrelated to content development time. But it is worth considering. We got 3 new epic skins with the 2018 anniversary event, and they were the first new event epic skins in over a year. If nothing else, I think we can expect something to change in year 3, as indicated by the return of these kinds of skins. Now, to be honest, I think the most likely thing we're going to see change is the event's limited time game mode. As much fun as Lucio Ball has been, it's time to move on. I have heard some interesting ideas on how it could be revitalized. One in particular that I like comes from a CG generalist named Puppet Squid. His idea revolves around using control point maps to make a street version of Lucio Ball, and even includes Orisa as a goalie with her barrier as the goal. Puppet Squid made a video outlining the idea in detail on his YouTube channel, so I recommend you guys go check it out afterwards. I'll have a link to the video in the description and in the cards on screen. However, despite Lucio Ball's many diehard fans, I think we need to get something truly different for Summer Games 2018. That doesn't mean Lucio Ball has to go away, as we've seen past events host multiple game modes at once. But something brand spanking new seems like the best course of action for Blizzard to reinvigorate enthusiasm from Overwatch's older players. As for what exactly this will be, well, I'm not really sure. I would love to see something as fun and replayable as Junkenstein's Revenge, but I'd rather not set my expectations too high. Now that we have a literal playable ball in the game, I'd love to see what kind of unique game modes could be made using Hammond. Aside from a game mode though, we might also get something completely out of left field. For a while, I've been wondering if and when Blizzard will ever introduce a new kind of cosmetic, as in one that would have its own category in the hero gallery. An idea that has been floating around the community for some time now is weapon-specific skins, or at least being able to switch the weapons between the already existing skins in-game. After all, we do already have a weapons category, which currently only contains the golden guns. Adding a major game edition like this would certainly be an exciting way to kick off the 3rd year of Overwatch. But again, I'd rather not set my expectations too high. All I know is that Blizzard is going to need to find some way to wow us during these recycled events if they want to keep the attention of longtime players. Now, you may have noticed that I haven't talked at all yet about my new skin expectations for Summer Games 2018, and if you've been around on my channel for a while now, then you know that it's because I've got a separate video dedicated to just that, which I'll be uploading not long after this one. So if you don't want to miss out on all the cool new summer skin ideas and speculation, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below what you think about all this. Do you think we're going to end up getting a radically reworked event for Summer Games 2018? Or will it be more like the rehash events we got this past year? Either way, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and share it with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.